mountains like this, it's no wonder there are so many off-camber tracks in Romania. Today we are heading for a wet, slippery slope with lots of tree roots. My bike is still so new it's running tubes pumped up hard to avoid punctures, so it will be a good chance to practice the traction skills.
Whoop, clay. It's hard to tell what's slippery and what isn't.
We have a training vid about doing off-camber slopes. Here's a quick overview. If standing, use the default body position. Lean the bike slightly into the hill, but keep your body upright. If the tyres slip, you have a better chance of preventing a crash, plus often your tyres' side knobs are less worn. Weight the outside peg for better traction. This also frees up your inside leg to paddle if needed. Also use low revs and slip the clutch for traction. Stand on the foot pegs if possible. Your legs act as suspension for better traction. Maintain momentum when you can, and as you get confident, you can often go quite fast if you are ready to leg paddle when the wheels slip. Check out Billy Bolt over these wet tree roots. Finally, low tyre pressures or soft mousses will give your tyres a bigger footprint on the ground for better grip.
We don't stop riding because we get old because we stop riding.
It's a gentle slope, but you can see the bike ahead losing grip if too much throttle is used. You need to be so gentle on the throttle and add in some clutch slipping too. The camera tends to flatten things out, but the downhill side is getting up to 45 degrees in some sections. Although the track is wide, man, it's unnerving. It would be a hell of a job dragging a fallen bike back up to the track. A strange aspect to Romanian tracks, you have so many multiple lines. In previous Romaniacs events, riders create all sorts of new lines to try and get around traffic jams.
Yeah, that's... Oh, hang on, you can go down that way. I thought you had to come up. Certainly don't want to fall downhill.
So if you don't look ahead, you can wind up on some very difficult lines.
I see, branch across the track there.
Being very careful around these rocks, I have visions of the bike and me cartwheeling down the hill. Normally I would just do a 180-degree pivot turn, but again, that steep downhill is so unnerving. Good to see the Kiwi group opting for a team approach on these tricky bits. Bugger, not enough momentum to clear this.
I'm right, thanks. Just practicing. Thank you.
Mind you, speed doesn't always get you through cleanly. These forests really are spectacular. It's a pity the racers in Romaniacs don't get to chill and admire the scenery the way we can on these Enduro tours. Now it starts to get interesting.
Yeah, nothing like a bit of off camber.
Too much throttle almost guarantees slipping on these obstacles.
Yeah, hitting tree roots. Yeah, nice use of the terrain. Yeah, she's so off camber, eh?
Get it up here.
Interesting, trying to walk it.
Okay, let's see how the gumby goes. I am being ultra cautious and trying to pick the best line to avoid slipping.
Fuck. Okay, she'll want to go down on that route, so I'll just lift her up.
Nice, good, Gary.
It's all fluky. Fluky Luke. Oh! Thanks, mate. Bugger. I was hoping to do it without assistance, but can't be too unhappy with that run.
Our Romanian guide is in there helping to push bikes through,
When you do walk, then it's
but also giving some great riding tips. Such a short guy, such a talented rider in this terrain. A great example of using the terrain, he rests the rear tyre on this rock so it won't slide out under acceleration.
Good clutch control.
I'll give you my dirt bike when you pry it from my cold, dead hands.
So guys, I'm no expert at this shit, but you really want to read the terrain and make sure, for example, you're on this side instead of this. Every slippery bit, try and see the roots that are underneath the soil, which will send you downhill. Pick your line ultra carefully. And Bobo, our Romania's best guide, was just talking about throttle control and easy on the clutch. The moment you give it a little squirt, spin the rear wheel up, hey.
especially when the bike is not standing straight on the ground, it's laying a little bit.
Yeah.
It's most possible that probably your back wheel will go down.
And I should point out, guys, this is Jarvis was trained by this guy, Johnny Walker, Taddy Blusuziak.
Of course, all of them.
He's looking smooth. Good use of the knee.
Sometimes it just feels much safer to get off and push. But of course, this can also mean the rear wheel isn't weighted, so it's even more likely to slip as you use throttle. Great teamwork. This is often needed in Romaniacs too, of course, but in race conditions there is always that pressure to go hard and go fast by yourself, instead of sometimes taking the slower teamwork approach.
Just check it. You can see all these roots everywhere that are gonna send the rear wheel. So I just back off the throttle. Too much then. Every time I hit a little root, because you hit a root with power on and yeah, it's pretty buggered. Fuck, not revving it enough. So look here, you've got a root there, root there, root there, root there, and another one. So you kind of go in between and hit the power at the right spots. Whoa. Will she stay? No, she's not going to stay there. Just plonk her over. Put it around 2,000 meters, and that's when the bikes get pretty tired, so we let them have a little nap. They run a bit lean even with the TPI.
And then finally, it's out into the open highlands to enjoy the views again.
Well, that's it guys, we're out of the forest for a little while. Man, that was so much fun.
Even here, it can be off camber. This grass can be slippery at the best of times. When wet, it's downright diabolical. Stick around for more Romanian fun, guys. To be continued.